the Alter Rebbe, Shavt b'Shalom Beisovi, Hoya Vaylu Elikim. I'll return in peace to my father's house, and the Eibush will be for me for a God. This rock, which they made as a Matseva, will be the house of Hashem. Dr. Alter Rebbe, so the question, the Chalal is Rashi and the Ramban over on this pasuk. If Hoya Vaylu Elikim is part of the Tanai, or is part of the Neder. I think the Ramban says it's part of the Neder, but actually it's part of the Tanai. In any case, what's the connection of the rock with Shem Havai? Havai, Lelikim, was Dafke, Yeheven based Lelikim. Dafke, when Havai will become Lelikim, only then will the rock be a base of Lelikim. What's the connection of the rock being a base of Lelikim and the elevation of the rock with Havai and Lelikim? That's the question. That's the question. What is the connection of these two things? Even as they see base Lekim and Havai Lila Lekim. What's the connection? Gamzer Lovin. Also we have to understand. Ki Loshen Even Azeis U Loshen Nekeva. It says Even Azeis. It doesn't say Even Azeis. It says Even Azeis Loshen Nekeva. Or Milas Yi Loshen Zocher Shur Satiyah.
Even is Loshen Nekeva? Even is Loshen Nekeva?
No, but it says Azeis. Since it says Azeis, is much what he's referring to the Nekeva.
No, because Even is Nekeva.
Sure. Avonim is Loshen Zocher, sure. In fact, it says Azeis, yeah. So why does he change the two things? It's much that there's two pratim in this Even. There's what the is in the cave, it's a chain, it's a Zocher. Hov, and it's called Hanal, Haktim. We have to first introduce Levi to explain what it says earlier. He bumped into the place, yeah, the Rashi explains, and he took from the rock to the place and he put it to his head. And he took that rock. At first it says Me'avne, many rocks, and then it says Vayosem. He put, not Vayisimim, rather it says Vayosem, he put it in a shesa by his head. It became all one rock. Vayosem Eis Matzeva, and he made it into a Matzeva monument. So, love and Yinavon in mind. First, we have to understand what's the concept of rocks. We see all about the rocks. Everyone says here basically Kim and the Vaikman Amokim, Yosman Rashisu, Yosman Maseva. What is the concept of these rocks? What's the Chlal rocks? The Gam, also we have to understand, I'll show you Tchilavonam Harbi. First, in the beginning, there were many rocks. Which called the Vaikman Amokim. Yaakov Osmehen, Evanachs, he took from the many rocks, he made them one rock. What is this concept? Hine, Bereisha Parshak, Si, Vayetzi, Yaakov Bereshov, Avil Choron. Beginning of the parsha, he goes back, he works his way back till the beginning of the parsha. Yaakov went out of Beersheba, went to Chorah. Pirush, what does it mean Yaakov went from Beersheba? Who's Yaakov? Pirush Yaakov, who? B'chinas Yud Eikev. Yaakov is Yud Eikev. What's that? Shu b'chinas Hamshochas Chochmi Loa. Hamshoch of the higher Chochma, the Chochma of Atzilus. Shu b'chinas Yud, there's the level of Yud. Why is it a Yud? Because it's through the Tzimtzum of Ein Sof. That's how Chochmah came about. So that's what's a Yud. One reason Yud, also because the bitl of Chochmah. That's what's a Yud. He's going to say soon. And he brings this Yud, Lamata, Mata, Gam B'chinas HaKvayim, to the lowest of levels that should experience the experience of Chochmah Datzilus. Even in the hills. So, Vayitzi Yaakov Be'eshav Chorono, B'chinas Yaakov, the level of Yaakov is, who is Hamamshich. He draws down Mibchinas Be'esheva from Be'esheva. Shuhu l'mayla. Be'esheva is very high. Why is it? Because it's Iv Chayev Gamei Echad. It's the way the Eibush is united with the spheres of the Eris and the Kelim. And he brings down from there Adish Tash Lamata Matla Madreges Tachtein till the lowest of levels, to the lower level Shubchinas Choron, because you will come on Be'ez Hashem. Like we'll soon explain what is this meaning that Yaakov brings the Yud Chochmah into the lowest of levels. Even Choron, which is Charin Avshal Mokim, the house of Lavan, yeah. Like it says in the Pasuk, Tzave Yeshua is Yaakov. What is the meaning of the Pasuk, Tzave Yeshua is Yaakov? It says in Tehillim. So he says like this, Yeshua same Shinai Neherin Eloim. Yeshua is the level of 370 higher expressions. Why is Yeshua Shinai?
No, what's is Shinai?
Shinai Bechlal is Mechan and Midas. That's the way I understood.
Because
The three Mechan is Meya, each one is Meya, and 70 is the 7 Midas, each one included from all the spheres. So the 3 Mechan are greater, like it says, Meir Shana, Etzim Shana, Sheva Shana, also there is also everyone at a different level. But over here, I think it's referring to Keser, the Mechin of Keser, and the Midas of Keser. Save, he reconnects Yeshua is the level of Shinai Nehedin to the Akvayim, into the heels. This is another pause. It's not the same idea exactly of Yaakov. Even though he says Yaakov does it, but it's more than just Yud Ekev, it's also the Yeshua is Yaakov. He connects even the Ayin Nehedin, Shinai Nehedin also to Lamata. The Gam, Yeshua is another reason why Yeshua is considered the connection of the Eibush to the world, the way the Eibush reveals himself from Lashon Shah, Aker. He turns himself. Which calls Vayishav Ayel Hevel. The Eibush returned to Hevel. This is a drawing down of the level of the Eibush's light, very low. The Eibush turns himself. So he says, So the derech klal, the Eibush comes down. I think it means, but in the regular level of Ishtalshlus. Not the way Yaakov did it, not the way Yaakov accomplished it. When the Eibush comes down through many tzimtzumim, the Eibush lowers himself down through many tzimtzumim, till he comes down here in the level of Choron. So a regular b'shtalshus say Ravai Kolkach, where the Eibush lowers himself down through many tzimtzumim until he comes to the lowest of levels with K'nes Choron. Nasa Alma, the Prudah Lagamri becomes totally a separatism. You don't see the Eibush in the world. The river came out of Eden, which is Eden is referring to Shub K'nes Chochmei Law, and it comes the Hashkes Sagan, comes to give Shochat to the Gan to Gan Eden, like it says in some Avov brought down from the Gemara that Shmuel when he said Eden and Gan are two different things. If you're going to think that Eden is Gan, it says Venor Yetz. Why would you think Eden is Gan? Because it says Vayita Vayelkim Gan be'Eden Mikedem, and he planted a Gan in Eden. It says Venor Yetze Me Eden Hashkes Sagan. It's a raya that Eden and Gan are two different things. Eden is Chochmah, although sometimes it says Eden is Tainag Atzmi, but it's in the Chochmah that you also have the Pnimis HaChochmah, the Pnimis Atik. So you have in Chochmah, you have the idea of the Tainag of the Eibishter, and it comes down from there to a Nor, which is Bina, and comes to Hashkes Sagan, which goes on Gan Eden eventually. Misham Yiporit, and from Gan Eden is Yiporit, comes in of Nifrit. Shenimshach Misham, Mishtalshus Rabbis, Tzimtzum Rabbim, Naisem Ches Nifrodim Betachlis. Even though in some of what he speaks about Misham Yiporit, he's speaking about even the Dal Machs the Shechina, when they have Avid Beislavis. The Avid Beislavis is already in of Pira. They feel themselves. They get excited about the Eibush. There's someone getting excited. That's already in a very slight way, in of Pira. Because when they're kosher with the Eibush, they don't even kanfeim. It says, what's the lashon? In the Cheslo, they will say it in the Haftarah of the Shavuos that the kanfeim of the wings of the malachim are when they see the Shechina, so they're down. When they're separate from the Shechina, then they become up. They have a yearning to the Eibishter. So when the Misham Yiporit is referring to that level. But then he says over here, he says when it comes down here, he touches a little difference. When it comes down from there with many shtalshos and many tzimtzumim, eventually it becomes mamish nifrit. Yeah, so that's the way it goes. The way regular shtalshos of the Eid. It goes through from level to level till it becomes Pirud Mamish. The Shvira, Hakelim, all the Inyan that's explained in Chassidus, how it makes that it should become actually a yin of Pirud. But Yaakov Avinu Alav Sholem Rotzala Haleisum Lamayla Mayla. Yaakov Avinu want to elevate these lower worlds, this Choron, this lowest of worlds, to the highest of levels. He wanted to make that we should feel the bitl of Atzilus. He used both Lashonos, Yichud and bitl. The Chura is a big chiddush. Yichud is usually only on Atzilus, and Bitl is for Biyah. But here it says that we should have Yichud of Bitl Mamish, K'meishul Amayla Chayev Gamei Echad. Just like in Atzilus, you have Yichud of the Sfiras of the Eibishter. So to should be with all the Nivroim. L'zeis Nemar, this it says, there's a few places in Torah to explain this idea that it says also when we get to Chana, she called the Eibishter Tzvois, that she wanted to bring the Eibishter into the Elamis. saying that in Bia should be also even chayev gamei echad, which is a big chiddush. So according to he says here, when you get to Yaakov Avinu, this number, therefore it says, Vayikach ma'avnei hamokim. He took from the rocks of the place. What is this rocks? Now he's going to come to explain what's the rocks. Ki hinei neida sha'avonim nikro eisius. We know that rocks are considered letters. Meshkos, we say for Yitzir, brings some say for Yitzir. Shnei avonim, 2 rocks, beide shnei botim. Build 2 houses. What does it mean in Ruchnis? It means 2 letters perform or configure. You could make it into 2 words. And each word is going to touch as a word is a kli for seichel, just like a house is a keli, a place where a person could live in. Sholosh avonim, 3 letters, 3 words, 3 rocks. Bein shisha botim, we have 6 houses. There's 3 letters, like Tseir and Tzora and Hatzar, whatever they explain. The 6 letters, 3 letters is 3 times 2, so you have 6, and so on and so forth. The Ye's being Kimeish Mavonim Harbi nice by seven. You have many rocks, you can make a house. Shechel and Lodr Besechi, you could live in it, can make him Macy's Harbe, so from many letters. Nice taves become words, Shebehem, he slaps the Seichel. The intellectual idea enclosed up in the word. The Gam, another reason why it's called Avonim are called Asius. Asius are called Avonim. Avonim are called Asius, he says. Just like rocks are the silent existence. For some reason he calls it Yesedis. Usually it's Yishrach Maimah for the Yesedis. But here he goes into the 4 types of species which exist in the world. The world's put together from This is the lowest level of all of them. The letters in regard to the Sech, which is including them, the idea which is including the letters, is total. The letters is totally daimim. It's silent. It has nothing to say. There's nothing in comparison to the idea. So this is 2 ideas why it's called the Avonim are called Asius, because they contain the seichel, and also because just like a person lives in the house, in the rocks, and so too it's be'ein arech to the seichel. Just like daimim is be'ein arech to seichel to the person. V'nim to move mikol anal she'avonim nikra Asius. The Avonim are called Asius. Okay, kein hula ma'ilo. So too is by the Eibusha. The Eibusha also has his Avonim, his Asius. In Iksiv it says in the pasuk, this is speaking about by the person. Not going to speak by the Eibusha. In Iksiv it says in the pasuk, V'dvar avay shemayim naisu, that the Eibusha created the world through his speech. Mishkos malchuscha malchus kol ilomim. What gives life to all the world? Through Malchus. Malchus is Malchus Kol Ilam. That's a kingdom for all worlds, just like a king. He sustains the world, the people. So to the Eibishter, Shechais Kol Ilmas, Sheheim Ilmas Ad Ein Ketz. There's no limit to how much world there is. Mishkos Vayesh Mispel Gdudov, like the Rebbe brings in the order somewhere in Vayim Rabbim, I think in Tavshin Yud Zayin, the Rebbe speaks over there. And he brings the Lashon from the Rebbe Barashad that there's Ein Mispel to Nivroim. He asks the question, how can you have Ein Mispel? The world's a limited world. How can you have Blikvul Nivroim in a Mokum Mugbal? Only Mokum Arneinim Namida. So how many things can you stuff into the world? It's a limited world. And then as a Sof Lachas Man, the Rebbe writes that in our world Tak is Mugbal, but how many worlds there could be is Blikvul Eilumas. And each world has its name, Tzmei Chaim Adaber. So it's Blikvul. Was he like the Rebbe? Yeah, no, what is
Alle Eilumas echt in Gvul.
Nein, Eilumas hat den Ketz.
Ein Ketz.
Wie kann sein Eilumas?
Ein Ketz in uns, so meistens doch.
It's a Blikvul. It's a Blikvul, weil der Eibsch ist Keich Ein Sof. It's a Keich, it's a Keich von Ein Sof zu machen. Eibsch will gerne Keich Mugbal zu machen. Wollte ich wenn Tag Mugbal. Aber bald kommt von dem Eibsch das Keich Mugbal. Kommt zu Reis, das Eilumas hat den Ketz. Ich mich kurz, der ist Mispel Gdudov. In Kol Zeh, Moker v'sheish chayus of all these worlds, Ein Elam, Mchinis Malchus, from the lowest level of Hashem. Shubchins Dvar Havai, the Eibsh's word. I'm a Chayim, a Havis, and a Ein Yesh Tomid, which creates them from nothing to something. They didn't exist and they came to be. And who makes them and why? Liyes being Shem Nivroim Balik Gvul. Shesh Gvul Asagoson, they have a limit how much they could understand the Eibishter. On the world from the earth to the heavens is only 500 years to go, and even though it's a lot, but it's vital limited.
500 or something.
So as Dafka Takshon stops as the cloud, the Iker Hamidis is from Echmea, this is the Hezbollah. From Chesed bis Heid. You say the Shem Biaget Reis Levar Miguf. Sie teilen sich auf jeder teilt sich auf 100. Tag schon. Hab's also. Wenn im Klar Berg gab er weiß schon von das Einsof. So they're nothing in comparison to the Eibishter's light which creates them, which reveals itself in the higher worlds. Well, they, since therefore, so what could they get their chayes from? Being that they're limited existences and they have a limited understanding of the Eibishter, so what could they get chayes from? This is the letters of Hashem which creates the heavens and world, heavens and earth. So the aces that creates all these elums that in cats is daimim lagabe the Eibishter's mishkos of kod the shavayit's voice. The Eibishter is removed from the yin of tzvois. The whole chais of tzvois, the malachim, is only from a ace, one letter. Av shem elf alofim, the thousands of thousands. Mishkos of elf alofim shem shunei. Thousands of thousands serving, and then there's a high level of malachim which have tens of thousands which stand for him. It says in Lashon Teir Shalom, it says, what's the difference between the Shamshunei malachim and Kadmei Yikum malachim? It says, Shamshunei is they serve, they do something. Kadmei Yikum, they just stand with a bitl. So they just ignore it. He says that the malachim, that the difference in our world, what's the difference of the elf alofim and rib rivovim? That's the difference in Pelishach Chassidus, Pelishach Rebbes. The Rabbi Permishlani mentions. He says, "Devers meant as is Nishkin Geisa mentioned is Anar." He says, "There Rabbi Rivovim Kadmei, but the Kavona is in Yisham Shunin. The Chabad Rabbi are Yisham Shunin Rabbi. They were Megal Lekuz, Megal Chassidus. They looked in Teir Shalom. The whole sich, anyways. Mishkos of a Yesh Mispelik Dudov. So there's unlimited amount. In since they're limited, each one of them is a limited existence. All their life of all these existences, all these creations of the malachim is only mebchinas eis echad bovat, shubchinas deim legamri, legabe shem havai, shubchinas ein sof. So it's silent legabe shem havai, which is infinite canal. Hine shtash skolim zuri b'dvos madrege stola kel feifin tzurufi eis shubchinas dvar havai. What makes these tens of thousands of worlds of levels that exist? It's all dependent according to how the letters of Hashem. Yeah.
When he says is he referring to the Kibakash?
Yeah. Al derech, yeah.
He's not saying Dibor or.
He says one ace of the Eibishter. Even though it says Dvarvai Shemam Naisa, and it says Salam Amoris Nivrei Elam. How's it work together? It's a good shayla.
But you have here, it does say Biyud Nivrei Elam Haba.
Biyud Nivrei Elam Haba. Hey Nivrei Elam Hazeh, yeah. Soon see what he says. But here he says, he says all these levels that he comes is all dependent on. In here, Gufi says there's tzirufe eisish of Kins Dvaravai. It's the putting together of the letters in Dvaravai. Why is it considered eisach? This happens of Reim Pratim Balagvul V'nifront in order to create limited and detailed creations, which means they're separate each one from another. And they're limited, and they're separate from the source. Only that happens from the limited limited chayes in the Eibishter. But Yaakov in Allah Sholem, he saw how low they are. He saw that their whole chayes is low. They want to elevate the chayes higher. They should get chayes from a higher level. Therefore, he took the rocks on the place. Shem Eis is harbe. There's many rocks, many letters. Also, Evan Achas Ru Eis Yud, which this is the letter Yud. This is the meaning that he put it by his head, which he put it in Lashon Yochid, Vayosem, and it's Merashesov, Shekmei, Lamata. Shalamata, but just by a person, there's intellect and emotions. The ace is saying, a person has intellect and emotions, and he has letters which they contain, they enclose the intellect and emotions which enclose themselves in the letters. There is Chochem Bin Adas, and the Zayin Tachtein is the 7 Midas. Rak Shomhu, but the Eibishter is Chakim, V'lo B'chochma Yedid. The Eibishter has wisdom, but it's not the wisdom that we can understand. Maybe V'lo B'yedid, understanding, which is not our understanding. V'la Mikol Midas Ilin. It's not these Midas that we know. Sheshom Chnesich the B'ita B'tachas, because over there they totally connect with the Eibishter. K'meshkos L'cha Havaya Gdula, that the Gdula, which is B'tzah Chesed, is one united with the Eibishter. V'chayei, V'garmei, is Eris and the Kelim are Al Chad, one with the Eibishter. So it's just where a person has seichel mitzvot zotul l'mayla their seichel mitzvot. That's the spheres of Atzilus. Obchinas dvar avaye heima eisius the dvar avaye the word of Hashem. That's the letter shebehem is slapshim chabad mitzvot. Shem es spheres l'yin. So the es spheres enclose themselves into the dibur. So they are kelim. The aces are kelim for that spheres. Letter Yud. Now he's going to say the specialty of the Yud that he mentioned earlier. Letter Yud. Yudekev, Shinikud, Ktane, Miramis, this dot, this shows, this hints, Aliyah is being, Shabim is Slavish, comes Chochme. That Chochme comes into it. Shuhub is Ein Bittel Batach, it's totally bottled. Therefore, the Kale for that is a Yud. Veisa Hey, Shub is Pash Zedek Verech. This is what we know already from Chassidus. Yud Kev Ofke is Chochme Bin and Zoh Malchus, so here he explains it. Veisa Hey, Shuhui, Pchenes Pash Zedek Verech, Miramis, Al Shuhu, Pchenes Lavush, Pchenes Bina. The fact that as this Pash Zedek Verech shows that it's a Keli, it's a Lavush, or Bina, which is also a Spashtas. Okay, making Shares is the rest of the letters, Shabbat Slavim, Pchenes Midis Al Yenis. The Zeo, now we'll understand why Yaakov was to call Avonim Even Achas. He went and took all the letters, all the rocks, and all the letters he made them one rock. Because he wanted to become Kalim for Chochmah. After he made them Kalim for Chochmah law, he went and made it in a monument. He lifted it up. He made it into a monument. What does that mean? At least he slapshes. He made from the Yud of Vav, which the top of the Vav is a Yud, and then it goes down into the Vav. At least he slapshes that the Chochmah should come down here. So basically, what happened by Matan Teda already happened by Yaakov Avinu. He already was Mamshech Alakus down here. The Kaneda, the one says Avav, Shalreish, and you could say, you just know the picture of Avav, is then the head has a Yud. Then it comes down into the Vav, Teda comes from Chochmah of the Eibishter. It comes down into physical things. It starts off in the Eibishter's wisdom, the Eibishter's Chochmah, the way the Eibishter understands it. And Hakim B'lo B'Chochmah, we can't understand it, we can't fathom it. And from there it comes down into physical things. We have our Gashmizik Teda, the way it's in front of us. That's what he did. He brought down in our Teda, the way we have it, it should have the Teda, the Chochmah of the Eibishter. This is also what he continues to say, that he poured oil on the top of the rock. Peter Shemen, which cause of Shemen, Mishchas Kedesh. Since we see it's connected with Kedesh, Kedesh is the of Kedesh Mila Bergamis, Chochmah is Kedesh Mila Bergamis. It's the Chochmah is moved from Elames. Why do you do it al Reisha, Liz Gil, because Chochmah, Mamish Lamata, because Matzeva now. That the Chochmah should be revealed down here in this Matzeva. Shahu, what's the Matzeva? Shukhanas Teda Mitzvah Shemul Boshul Lamata with Varam Gashmin. This Teda Mitzvah, the way they're enclosed in physical things, Hamach the Parah B'Chameir, and Kosher, Puzzle, Chul, all the things that we have in our world, in the physical world. In Kol Zeh Yibem Gil B'Chaz Chochmah Mamish Kvei Shulamala. In there should be enclosed Chochmah. Not that we have to go away from this world in order to connect to the Eibishter. In this world we have Chochmah. Kamayim Razal, like Chazal tell us, Malahal Beim Oviyira, Avkan Beim Oviyira, Joseph B'Shas Matan Teda. Taisha says, Pirush, Malahal B'Shas Matan Teda Al Har Sinai. When the Eibishter gave the Teda on Har Sinai, Shoyu Beim Oviyira, Yidden were standing and trembling from the Eibishter's revelation. Shoyos, Hoyu B'Chinas Gila B'Tachlis. Over there, the Eibishter is totally revealed. Shoshom, Piatzin Samayitzla Nechav Elekecha, the Eibishter himself revealed himself and says, Nechav Elekecha, that the Nechav became Elekecha, the highest of every Yid. Afkan, so too now, even when it speaks of physical things, like I mentioned before, or kosher apostle, Afkan, and simple things, which have the revelation of Chochmah just like it was then. I'm going to put my words in your mouth. The way you understand Teda, it should be connected with Chochmah. In order that there should be such a revelation down here, first he has to elevate the world to save Kalam. He elevated, he made it into a Matzev. At least, he elevated it. Why was he able to elevate it so high? Because the end of everything is connected with the beginning of everything. Because the beginning is a cause that the end shall happen. Look, you have this Rachmonas, and the Onis, and eventually you actually give the Oni what he needs. So not Seifon is B'tchilos, already in the beginning already was thinking about the Seifon. By day Zeh, since he was there, he was already interested in the Seif. In the beginning, by days not close to the Seif. When he comes to the action, then he gets the Chais that he had in the Tchila. That the higher the level is, the more it could come and express itself in the lower of levels, the lowest of levels. So this is what he says. What does it say? Weiter in Pasuk. It's a Shem La Reisha. So he picked it up in order that he should be able to bring down in it Shem and the Chochmilah into the Matzeva, which he regards it as the Amshach of Torah Mitzvah down here. Now he's going to come to answer the other questions.
So in a way, this is emphasizing what we keep learning, that Yaakov was the combination of Abraham and Yitzchak by doing. He was Maila and he was Mamshech.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Ken sagen also, yeah. Ken sagen also, Gott sei Allah, Sam Shach, yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. So, v'shafti b'shalom al beis avi. Now we'll see what it says in the pasuk. I'll return to my father's house. After he does all this, he says, v'shafti b'shalom al beis avi v'hoya vayli l'likim. Shekol ze yiyah idei Allah, so amshachas shemimata l'mayla l'mayla l'mata. All this is going to happen through the elevation and the drawing down from below above and from above below. He elevated it on top of his head, and he brought down the oil, come down. Why is this going to happen? Why is this going to bring down B'Shaftim Shalom El Beis Ovi? Ovi, Koyal Yitzchak. Who's my father? Is referring to Yitzchak. You are our father. We're going to refer to Yitzchak only as Atavinu. We are our father. Yitzchak is pleasure, is laughter and pleasure. That she said about the Yitzchak that Tzchek Asel Elikim. Kol Hashemei Yitzchak li V'Lashon Os she's Galab Konstantin Gelin Shalom Ma'ila. We're just referring to the Osid love that eventually is going to be revealed the higher pleasure. Why Nibchim Zabrim Shalom Atom Princess Kafi V'Sapam Echshech L'Neira the Allah Zam Shochas Kanal. This is through the Berurim that we do down here through his Kafi and his Hap. A person transforms himself and makes a skafia, that elevates the nivra to connect with the Eibishter, and he brings down the Eibishter down here to this world. That makes a tiny by the Eibishter. Since he makes the Gili of Chochmi law down here, so instead of being a nifrid, he becomes Yichud law, he becomes Yichud down here. That's transforming the Tachten. And that's cause the tiny. Just like the pleasure down here. When you have pleasure, when you have a change. People like change. A person, a bird doesn't speak. A person speaks the Hatman Garnish Kintain. He always speaks. The same thing. What's Yaakov? Is Yud Akev. He's bringing down the Yud into the Akev. He's bringing down the Eibishter, not like it wasn't by the Seder Shtalshlas. The way it was beside the Seder Yishtalshus, that things revolve and become till Nifrid Mamish. Shaking here, brought down the Lakus till the lowest of levels. Gam Zakfine. Shemelim, San Nifradim Lagamri, Ubalik Vul, separate worlds that are separate from the Eibishter and they're limited. ומשקוס ויצא בשבי אל חרון ושנמשך ונשאל צמצום כל כך לסחף יש מאין בalik vul while the prudent that the Yankov went out from Beersheba and he went to Choron, which means that he lowered himself down and all the holy shtalshus and all many tzimtzum till the creation of yesh me'ayin, which is a yesh, which is limited and separate. Shemchins nevroim nifrodim shemchins yesh v'nifrod b'fnei atzmi shnikra Choron, separate for the Eibishter. That's called Choron v'losh nichar greni. He's going to explain why it's called Choron. He started saying before Commission's Barim Yitzhak Hashem, because it's called Choron. He says, "V'meloshen nichar greni." My throat was hazerik. How do you say hazerik in English? Horse. I know, which means, what does it mean? He's horse. Achai selikus animshach mislavish b'hem shenikra gorin, the godly life which comes in clothed in the nevroim. Which that's the idea of gorin. Shukel kaneda. Which that's the yin of Gorin, which is a coil, a voice, am shoche, the Eibish's chais coming to us is like a Gorin, is mechusu musrabem legam. It's here, but it's totally hidden. Achibama the proof of a cheshch legam until they're separate existences and totally in darkness. As if they're separate and empty for themselves. When that happens, nikra choron, loshen nichar greni, nichar and choron have the same aces. K'mishkos no lamti dimio, I became silent. The Eibishter hurt sich nicht. Why the Eibishter make this limitation? Why the Eibishter hide himself so much that we should come to a place of darkness and a place where there's separatism? We don't see the Eibishter. But days only in order. We should, as Chabek done, the bendness of Hashem to transform the darkness into light. Lavkas kol amidus rois, to transform all the bad attributes, all the bad midas. That the excitement about the stupidities of this world, or getting angry. Lahav come to transform them. That means he wants them. He wants them. She take that and transform it. She get excited about the Eibishter instead of the worldly matters. She get angry at something which is not letting us serve the Eibishter. We should be totally bottled to the Eibishter, and not as a separate entity. The Nikr B'chinas Zeis, and this level of transforming the Yesh is called B'chinas Tshuva. That's Tshuva. Tshuva B'cheli Yatu, it's a lot more energy. What is the more energy? The bad emotions which are koch, to transform them, to transform them, should become only excited about the Eibishter. So this is what it says. Where about Tshuva stands, a tzaddik cannot stand it because he doesn't have the Mitzrois. But there's a nice tiny god l'mayla through this causes that should be a great pleasure by the Eibishter. The Eibishter is a great pleasure from the skafia and the transformation from the cheshek l'heda that he transformed, and now he makes a place where the Eibishter is obvious in this world, which that's what he caused. He's v'shafti b'sholom al beisovi. He caused the yin of Yitzchak, the yin of Tainuk. Now we understand what it means, that it's geschmack to do tshuva in this world. Why is it Yov Shachas b'tshuva? Dafka through tshuva, which means transforming the midas rois, transforming the yeshes, transforming the pirud, the cheshech into air. That's the biggest timing that the Eibishter has. Because he's a yesh and he transforms it to ayin. That's a great accomplishment. Now from choron becomes another tzir of rino. Chor and Arina are the same letters, even though it's a hey and a ches. Just we know chometz and matzah also the same letters, even though one is a hey and one is a ches. Shemeis a ches shel chometz, nice a hey. It loses the ches, loses the top of the second line, and it becomes a hey. Which causes parish things. Supposed to ar chayis konev and asif chenes matzah becomes a matzah. You can make kain, so just because the yeshes becomes bittul, so it can make kain chor nice Arina. It's basically the same idea. That's from chor, which is yeshes. Comes Rina, it's an obvious thing of the Eibishter. Kamesh Kos, Ba'aved Rishoyim Rina. Shubchines Atayim, Shunais L'maylam, Shubchines Kafi Sapra Kanal. This is the pleasure the Eibishter has from our transforming ourselves into Kedusha. When is this going to be revealed? V'ine B'chines Atayim, Gazeh, Yizgal Lo Osidavke. Only when Mashiach comes will be revealed this level of pleasure. Every time we do a Skafi, the Eibishter has pleasure, but when it's going to be revealed, only when Mashiach comes. Sha'oz, V'es Ruach HaTuma Avi, the Eibishter is going to take away the whole Ruach HaTuma. There's not going to be any darkness, any birurim like there's now with elevations and descendants. A person gets a high and a low. It's not going to be anywhere. There's not going to be any cheshach to pull him down. It's going to be resting from our work. Then it's going to be the yin of revelation of the Eibishter's light. Down here will be united with the Eibishter just like it is in Atzilus. Now the Eibishter created the world from nothing, from a ayin liyesh, we become a yesh. We're going to make transform from yesh, will come ayin, becomes bitul v'ishapchach. When we'll have this level of ishapchach, is gal b'chnesein ge'elim, shub b'chnesein sof, will be revealed the ein ge'elim, which the Eibishter has from our Aveda, which is ein sof. This is the seventh day of creation, the seventh day of the 7,000th of creation. Yem shekul shabbos anucha l'chayei elomim, the day of tranquility and rest forever. Shubchanas gilui einig elyon, just the revelation of the Eibishter's pleasure. Kaneda shnasim abirum shalamat v'shisal v'shneim. Shabbos, and this is an outcome of our birurim that we do in the 6,000 years of creation. Zel v'shafti chulu el beis ovi. This is the word it means I return to my father's house. Shubchanas chazor v'ashov shubchanas sang v'chanas choron kanal. This is returning of Yain from Choron. To the level of singing of Gishmak, Shnik Beis Ovi, which this is the house of my father Shubchanas Yitzchak, Shubchanas Chek Vatayim Ge'el, Yishes Galos, Shubchanas Kafi V'Shab Chanal. Since he transformed the Yesh, that caused they should be able to return to his father's house, which is the yin of Yitzchak, which is the pleasure that the Eibishter has, which will be revealed when Mashiach comes, because of our Iskaf and Ishab. What are we holding?
That's not get fulfilled.
Yeah. This is what we're going to say. Dafka la'osil on Yitzchak ki ata avinu. We're going to say about Yitzchak la'osil that you are our father. Because this is the whole goal why the Eibishter made the world to begin with. In order there should be a pleasure by the Eibishter kanal. Why does it say b'sholom? Could have said v'shafti al beis ovi. He did what he had to be. He did everything. What's to say? He did so many things. Why b'shalom? Because this pleasure that's going to be revealed when Mashiach comes, through the elevation of the Tachton to realize that he's coming, not safe and b'tchilosim. And then bringing down the Mshochem, Elamai Lamat, not Tchilosim b'seifon, Shemchas HaBirur Lamat, Shemchas Eskafi Yishapcha. That's the Birurim that we elevate the Tachton in a way of through Eskafi and Yishapcha. Shenikra B'chinas Shalom, this is the level he's making Shalom. Why is Shalom? What's peace? Peace means those two opposites, and they come together. The two opposites, and they come together, they come in peace. It says in the Pasuk also, we say in Beit that what? That there's going to be peace. Peace to the far and to the near. What does this mean? By the base of the Shalom. The Shalom there's a Shalom from if someone which is distant and came close, elevated him. The Shalom I know what's the Shalom I know this is the Bechinas Yidis Vamshach Salkus Lamat State of Mitzvahs. This is the descendants of the Eibishter's revelation down here in the Torah mitzvahs that he gave us. We have a lakus down here. The Eibishter showed himself to us. Mishkosov Kanal Mishkosov Yitzchak Shemachol. By day base Bechinas Shalom Anal. To these two levels of Shalom, that means the elevation of Tshuva. And the revelation of Torah mitzvahs down here. When a person transforms himself, instead of being dark, not seeing the Eibishter, he sees the Eibishter, it shouldn't be in a separate state. We should be connected with the Eibishter, just like it is in the higher worlds in Atzilis. When I have Shalom, when I come united with the Eibishter, if he connects himself with the Eibishter, he makes Yesh Ta'ayin, then it will be revealed that this will be revealed to him, the Einig Elyon, which is infinite Mamish. It's much higher than all the levels of the Elam, even including the Elam Salyenim, which has many levels. It's much higher than both of them. I don't know why he says Ma'alamat Cheshach and not Eir Cheshach, whatever. Anyone could explain it, this is good. Because he's saying about...
Zeg, Mato Milo, Mata is Cheshach.
No, there's like Milo Mata, not Cheshach and Eir. He says it a few times. We're going to see soon. We can't anquetchen that it says Yitzir Eir Cheshach, as Cheshach is Hech, what's Hech is Mer Cheshach. Bri is Cheshach and Yitzir is Eir. Because the air is the air that we could attain, we could live it. The Bria is too much light. It's like the sun itself, it's too powerful, it blinds the eye. Anyways. But when you see the Eibishter is revealed, there's no difference, higher, lower, the dark and light are the same, are equal. It doesn't say Chashecha Koira, it says Kachashecha Koira. They're both the mamish equal. Mamish was after this V'shavti B'shalom B'Sov, he comes to the level what's Havayli L'Elikim? Kinik, it says in the Pasuk Kishem Shemogan Havayli L'Elikim that the sun and its shield is like Havayli L'Elikim. Shekemei Shemogan Unatik L'Hashem is just like a shield. Shields the sun, and he hides over the sun, the light of the sun. Can make it Shem L'Elikim. So to Shem L'Elikim Ch'nes Nartik L'Shem Havayli is a shield for Shem Havayim Chasr Mastrolov and hides over it. Why does it do at least? Nivroim Balikvul, in order that should be creations are limited when Nifrodim if Neatzman and are separate for themselves. Shem Havayim on its own would be the revealing of the Eibishter down here. So you have the sun and its shield, you have Havayim and Elikim. He calls up this is all true. If you want to make a lower world, you have to have a hella. When will be revealed the Eibishter's pleasure, which is much higher than the whole stage of He's higher than Shem Havayim and Elikim also. Then Shem Havayim will be Elikim, will be a Tzimtzum, which will be revealed then. Havayim will be Elikim. Not Havayim will be Nizgala in Elikim, that's lower than it. Havayim will become a Elikim, Lagabi, something which is higher, which is much greater than the Eibishter himself, which is the whole Seder Shtash, there's no value. There'll be a cave for this Havayim. This Elikim, which is Havayim now. he's continuing to say what about the future. Lashon Osid. Hanekol Ali Shil Osid. Hakol Asra Asran Loch Alkan give Ma'aser because Ma'aser Kaneda Vedal. He explained that in the beer what's pshat. He gives Ma'aser because every elevation you go to a higher level, you have to give Ma'aser. If you want to look at it, you can see it over here in the end of the next mime in the beer. Anyways, he says it over here. The V'im Mashkos V'Pish Asra Asar. He speaks about it. In the second to last paragraph. That you have to have leftover from the first level in order to get to the second level. It should be a Surah Satan, a Surah Leila. And it's called a Ma'aser.
So the Evan is going to be a bias, okay?
The Evan will be a bias for Shem Elokim of the Oslo, which is Shem Havaya of now.
Right.
This is the way it's explained over here. Look at here's a kitzur. You can see it yourself. The whole kitzur from the whole mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone who didn't take, now is the time. It's in Kudu before Myra.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did he say what was it?
Was it
Was it Bayim or was it Balayla?